Welcome to Unfiltered 3, Spilling the Tea with Cece,
Autumn, and Brie.
Hi, friends. So we have our Tipsy Tarot episode today, and we've had some shots. Some really gross shots and some really yummy. The aftertaste was really yummy.
Specifically.
Yeah. I mean, for a shot, like, that was a great aftertaste.
Yeah.
Normally, they're not great. Then they, like, leave your chest burning. But anyways, we're prepped and ready. And I think for, like, actually filming, we're all just drinking water.
Yeah. We kind of failed this month on, like, creating a special drink like we said we wanted to do. But Christmas,
Yes.
December, we will not fail. We will have a fun drink.
Yes, we promise. We promise. But yeah, so I'm excited for our tarot spread today. We're doing self-love. We wanted to still bring that mental health aspect, a topic that we really all love talking about, and quite frankly, a topic we bonded really hard over. But still keep it light and fun and uplifting. So we have a self-love tarot spread.
Yeah, I'm really glad you found this spread because mentally I just haven't been doing okay lately. And I'm fine getting in deep with it, but the idea of having something a little more light today and like fulfilling and loving sounds really nice right now.
Yes, yeah. I agree with you. I am on the verge of burnout.
Focus on the positive.
And so I'm like, I need something that'll fill my cup rather than making me feel like I'm pulling out of it, you know?
Yep.
So,
especially with our empty, no tipsy cups that we have here today.
Exactly.
I mean, we need a full cup.
So this is going to be a 6-card spread with some great questions. I'm loving these. Number 1 is, why are you amazing? Number 2 is, what is a past accomplishment? The third pull is, what do you bring to others? 4 is, what are your skills, talents? 5 is, why do you feel down about yourself? And 6 is, how should you practice love? I'm really excited to get into these.
Yeah. I'm also curious because we're not really reading for one specific person. We don't have a guest on today. It's kind of a collective pull. So I'm curious if we're going to have different things pop out at us for our own specific messages.
Like almost multiple cards, making this 6-card spread like 15.
Oh, no, I'm not.
I did not think of that.
I'm not going to lie to you. Every time we choose a spread, I'm like more tempted to choose a 3-card spread. Because I'm like, I'm not trying to say, don't get me wrong. I love it. I love recording, but it gets really warm in here. And that 15-card spread was like a 2.5 hour recording.
Plus, I know a lot of listeners have told us that they listen to these episodes in 2 parts because they end up being so long.
We can't help it. We got a lot of stuff in our brains. We just got to get it out there.
I mean, I personally love long form.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I listen to podcasts in the shower. Yeah. And I take long showers, so they need to last.
I listen in the shower. I'll listen to them like on my way to and from work. I'll listen to them when I'm cleaning. Like, I love the long form podcasts, especially when it's like a full story. It's my fave.
I put them right on my speaker in my room. Whenever I'm cleaning or, just hanging out in there.
So let us know what you're doing while you're listening to us today.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we begin?
Yes. Yeah. You know what the best thing about this, guys, is that it's just, everything is just aligned because our card colors match the iridescent on our tarot cards.
Yeah, on the spread that it shows on the graphic.
On the picture that I got from Pinterest from www.labyrinthsos.com.
If I can find it, I'll link it. Why are you amazing?
So many reasons.
But when you ask this to yourself, ask, why am I amazing?
Yes.
I have the vibes of this spread being like a warm hug.
I love that.
We got the Hierophant reversed.
Oh, it's reversed. Can I just say the thing that made me giggle is, and so you have this regular and then you have the reversed. And for the regular, the first phrase is stay woke. Just reading that made me giggle. All right. So the reversed of the Hierophant, however you say it. Let that rebellion roar. You are breaking free from the norm and challenging the status quo. After feeling confined by all the rules that have been placed upon you, you are choosing to go your own way, whether the people around you like it or not. This is a time when you are questioning society's rules and regulations, with a realization that all is not as it seems. Just because you were told how certain things were done a certain way does not mean there are no other ways to do it. This card reversed can also represent an authority figure in your life who has a very controlling way of asserting themselves. Be wary of this person, as they may force you to conform to rules you want to break, seeing your need of freedom as a threat. Choose your battles wisely. Why am I amazing? Because we're letting that rebellion roar.
Yeah. Is that not us?
Yeah. I read, so the one and only time I've ever read a self-help book, because that to me is like reading a textbook and it's just not fun. There was a passage about, oh shit, I'm going to lose my train of thought. No. Okay. What did you just say?
Is that not us?
Is that not us? Okay, yes. Sorry, guys. This is an insight into how my brain works. There was a passage about having to strip yourself of the morals that you were taught and find the morals that are true to you. And that was hard because, like, you've got society, you've got your parents, you've got so many just different types of influences that to, like, strip those and then build your own and then have the confidence and backing of your own is hard. But something I think that we've all, I think we're at various stages of it, but we're all doing.
Yeah, we're all awake to it. Like you said, the societal parenting, family dynamics, the conditioning that starts so young. There's a reason not a lot of people break away from that. Like that is hard to break away from and become aware of. But we can go our own way. That's all I heard when they said that part.
Love it.
But I mean, it's true. We're breaking generational curses. We're doing the healing. We're following suit with
We're
that.
questioning things that need to be questioned.
Yes.
We're allowing? Okay. We're allowing our minds to grow and not stay stagnant and ignorant.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the research and everything is out there now. We have the tools. We're actually going to take them and use them.
Yeah, I like that.
I want more people to talk about these issues. And before it's been family, go with it. It's family. And that's how it touches my life, where I've literally just had a conversation where I had a talk with my mom about being together and how much I love it. But there also needs to be order.
Yeah.
There needs to be respect on all levels. And it's really hard when you deal with family because they're like, oh, I can get away with saying this or acting this way. It's like, no, let's.
It's definitely an interesting perspective change when you almost lose the goggles. Like when you're a child and you have that like innocence and you're like, this is my favorite aunt, my favorite uncle, my mom, my dad, like whoever that is to you. And then you actually see them for who they are and how they are and not that film.
And
And
what a great way of putting it.
I've had multiple of these experiences with loved ones that it's eye-opening, it's heartbreaking, and it's eye-opening, but it's also growing. It's a way of now understanding why certain events happened as they did, or why the tones are there. Do you know what I mean? Rather than just like, you know, the ignorance. Ignorance is bliss, but
Yeah.
Yeah. So going off of that with family dynamics, I noticed a lot of the societal dynamics once I moved out here. Being in a small town, being in a bigger city, there's a lot more people and experiences around that you get exposed to. So, you know, there's more out there than what is the norm. And in this small town, as we've mentioned before, it's an older generation, very traditional. There's a lot of echo chambers out here, and they are loud. And the first time I encountered it, I was just like, whoa.
yeah.
This is still a thing.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Shocking. Yeah. I agree with that on so many levels. Growing up, when you finally have that realization, oh, we are all humans. We're all humans. We're all doing the best we can in our own ways that is reflected by how we grew up in all those circumstances. But you need to, I don't know how I forgot where I was going. God damn it. I had a really good point. I swear.
It'll come back to you.
It will come back to me. Damn it.
What did Bree just say? I have horrible recall. Just going to say that again.
The societal shock.
Yes. There you go.
It sparked me. It sparked me, but now I'm like...
the shock went...
Well, do you want... I have a thing to say.
Okay. You go with it and we'll see.
Okay. So another way that I've seen this is just... Maybe it's a little bit more defined, little tendril from this little conversation we're having. But it's like the negativity that our society has and how we're just so negative in the things that we say, and how a lot of what we say is triggering because we're so goddamn negative. We're so negative. And I try, like, at work, so my anniversary at work was the other day, and in the message, which really did, like, warm my heart because it's something that I do try to do, and it was like, positivity was in there, and I was like, fuck yeah, because I used to be that type of person, like, pessimist, only see, and sometimes I can get that way too, like, don't get me wrong, roller coaster, right? But I genuinely try to tell people and try to build them up positively, especially at work, because it's like work. It burns you out. It drains you. It's monotonous at times, but it can be fun. Like, you can still enjoy your time while working. And so I'll just be like, or I'll just, I don't know, just positive. I'm just like, today sucks. And I'm like, but it could be worse. No, I'm just kidding. That's the bad part. But no, I'll just be like, well, whatever fits the situation. I can't think of an example. Or I'll just affirm them, be like, you know what? Today does suck. But we can make it better right now.
Yeah, you are the sun personified. I think that's a perfect example of that.
I remembered. So what I was trying to get at, which hopefully you guys get me, you always do, is that everyone's different. Everyone has different circumstances, but we forget that even though you might have a different opinion or someone is different, doesn't mean you can't love them just how they are. People are allowed to disagree and still be good. And not have, not be voting for the same person and still be good. Like, yeah. People forget this.
Yep. You can have differences. That is okay. I think the thing that goes with that is just being healthy with it.
Yes.
Like, don't be controlling, manipulative, pushy. Like, be respectful to one another and then have that conversation so that you truly understand why you have different point of views. Like, allowing the questions to happen, allowing that conversation to happen. It could definitely be
but you need to go in as a listener, not as a let me try and convince you. Yeah. No, listen, take your time, reflect. It doesn't always have to be, you know what I'm saying. Like,
just be open-minded.
Yeah.
Open-minded. And who knows, maybe they'll give you a perspective that you've never thought of. And then maybe your perspective will change.
Yeah, that is one of my big things, that you can say something, you can do something, and then you can live and learn your lessons and come back and be like, whoa, I was wrong when I said that.
That's the catch, though.
But yeah, you got to own that shit.
I was like, that
Own your-
last little part.
Yes.
It's the accountability.
Yeah.
But people struggle with it, and it's like, just own your shit. It's okay. Everyone makes mistakes.
I honestly think that we're a society of people pleasers, and it comes down to like our biggest fear is failure, and then admitting that we failed is so hard, and then it's a big bruise to the ego, and the ego's huge. But I do hope that one day, through talk and research and learning and education, whatever else, that we can get to those places more as a society and in our families. And it just starts by people like us having a conversation.
What I struggle with, and I feel like this could be its own thing, so I won't go off on the tangent, but what I struggle with is when those echo chambers are happening, me wanting to voice that what they're saying is not okay because it's absolutely not okay, the specific instance I'm thinking of. But I don't want to say anything out of anger. Like, it needs to have compassion and sympathy to have an actual conversation about it. But I also need to let them know that it's not okay to have this conversation around me. I'm not okay with this. I'm not enabling this. So that's kind of where I've been struggling recently with those situations.
I find in a situation like that where I know I can't speak right now because I will say things that I shouldn't, or I'll say it in a tone or context that I shouldn't, is when I will be like, I need to step away, and then we need to have a conversation, and just making it brief, but giving yourself that immediate space from the situation itself.
I did that last time. I'll have to talk to you guys separately about the conversation because it's tricky.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff that's tricky when it comes to this stuff, though, so that's why I wanted to voice it.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's definitely hard. It's growth. You're constantly growing. You, the people around you, you're at different levels of growth. They're hurdles.
Yeah.
Spiky hurdles.
I'm still struggling with that in-between time where I go, I need to solve this problem now. Like, I can't stand living in this limbo. And I hate that so much, but I also am learning to appreciate that time where I have a little bit more to, like, put my words together, because I'm not very good at that. But I am still learning.
I used to be like that, like very, because, I didn't like when people were mad at me. I held a lot of what they thought about me to my worth, and I had to stop that because I wanted to fix it immediately, but that immediate fix wasn't a fix. It was a Band-Aid, and the wound would just get worse and worse and worse. And so I had to allow myself to have the time that I needed to be able to have the proper conversation or confrontation or whatever the case may be. Because if I talk too soon, I'm either A, forfeiting myself, or I'm forfeiting them. Like, it doesn't work out. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, with my certain past relationships, a couple of them, I just haven't had the chance to have that conversation, versus let's just swipe it under the rug. So
For sure.
That's why I'm so late. I'm unlearning this very, very good need.
I think that's just a good example of the different paths that everyone walk. Like, different growths happen at different times. Yeah. But you're amazing.
I was just going to say, that's why we're amazing.
I mean, just to take a step back and to reflect where you are, because it doesn't matter on the chart, as long as you're going in that direction, to step back and say, damn, I've come this far. Like, each and every single person should do that every day. It's,
yeah.
We're fucking awesome.
That touches on a topic I really want to have a discussion about, and that's duality. I really want to talk about that.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's like two things can exist at the same time. Like, Bree said this a couple times. Like, your childhood could suck, and your parents tried their hardest.
Yeah.
One doesn't have to cancel the other out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
But it's like once you open your mind to that word and its meaning, you realize it in so many different patterns and like so many different aspects. And it's just, I like that topic.
Yeah. I think it's funny that we got this card too, and we went off on all these tangents because this is like, even in past episodes and future episodes that we have, whenever we get on the topic of society and societal norms, that's when we just go off and off and we
Yeah,
can talk and talk for days.
Yeah. All right, we should get on to card number 2, huh?
Yeah.
What is a past accomplishment?
Oh, I'm super curious what's going to pop up.
What is a past accomplishment? It is not hesitating today.
Mm-mm. 9 of Swords reversed.
Mindfulness, conscious choices, thought patterns. Oh, interesting. Conscious awareness of negative thought patterns has given you the superpower of managing your thoughts and emotions. It's not working that great on me, but
I was just like, okay, that's a journey I'm on, I'm sure.
through your experiences, you've come to realize that everything will eventually be okay. Anxiety will arise from time to time, and you will most certainly be faced with stressful situations. But now you have the tools to deal with them. It's easy to let your thoughts run away from you, but not if it is causing you unnecessary anxiety and worry. Separating yourself from your thoughts is a healthy choice to make. Letting go of your ego's need to control situations has given you freedom to let go and to just be as you are. Feeling the spectrum of emotions is normal and will happen. The difference is now you have the tools to deal with them. You are prepared. What a great response.
Yeah. I mean, even down to your guys' reactions of like, well, that's a journey I'm on.
Yeah.
Like, even if you were just at the very start of recognizing your thoughts, that right there was a tool.
Yeah.
You're on it and it applies to you, you know?
This is such a great card and question for when we have our aha moment. Because, like, I just thought of that. I was just like, But, yeah, it's just being open to your mental health, I guess, in a way, is a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
Because, like, that alone, like, just recognizing that you have it, like, that it's there, that it's ever present, and it's not going away. It's part of you. It's who you are. And almost, like, embracing that in a way, like, not letting it be, I mean, like, I'm not talking like I've accomplished this. But in a way I have, like, I'm starting to, like, it's, like, when it happens, I'm trying to not tear myself apart. Like, why do I constantly feel this way? You know, why can't I just always be happy? Why do I have my lows, and when they're low? And, you know, why do I get anxiety about this and that? Especially, like, things that I didn't used to get anxiety about that I do now. And it's just embracing that instead of tearing myself up is definitely something that I relayed from this card for me personally, and in a form of, like, accomplishing.
Yeah.
Just reflecting in general, like acknowledging, shit, I was really anxious. And then acknowledging, well, why was I anxious? And like working on that progression. And that is definitely something we've all been talking about. I've been learning about. I feel like people who are listening to this podcast, they're going to be on those journeys. They're going to be questioning the same things I think we might. So that's what I feel like. We should all feel very accomplished that we have risen to reflection.
Yeah. You stole the word right out of my mouth. Accomplishment. Or acknowledgement. Like, even what we said beforehand, like being awake to this. It's a big step in acknowledging your emotions and what's happening to you. And even in past conversations and episodes, I remember talking about, like, I used to beat myself up the fact that I would ruminate for hours, but then I had to be like, well, I caught it 2 hours in instead of like all day. like that's still like you recognized it. That's still big. So it's really that acknowledgement that it's happening and that awareness, and you just take it one step at a time.
I have a question. When did you become aware of mental health? Like around what age? Just out of curiosity.
Oh man, this one's a tough one to like remember. But I want to believe I was older.
Okay.
Like I want to say mid to late 20s when I thought.
Not just for you personally though, but just like mental health as an aspect. Like others around you being mentally ill, like that kind of thing.
I don't think I understood it until at least mid 20s.
Okay.
I mean, you have to grow. You can't be a child and understand this stuff. It is deep.
I would say I'd be 6. I would say 5
Really?
because of 9/11, but or however old I don't know. Time is messed up back then in my head, but I want to say around 6. Like I've recognized it beforehand, but I didn't really grasp it. And then I started to grasp it at 6. And then I get into my aha moment, what we'll talk about in a future episode. But I was around that age.
Wow. In my mind, it was totally hard to understand.
Yeah. I want to say I was, when I had like that, okay, this is something serious, was probably around that same age. Like just that, okay, that was an intense emotion kind of thing. Like mentally, that was weird. But it being more prominent in my mind and in my life was probably when I was 15, 16 years old. And that was with external people, not internal. And there was a lot of negativity around it. So it was really hard. It almost, instead of opening my mind to it, closed my mind off to it. And so when we talk about that, have that conversation, I'll go more in depth into that. But yeah, I don't know, that question like popped up hard in my head and I was like, I just had to ask it.
Yeah, it definitely stemmed societally or like outwardly first, and then it became internal.
It was like personally external.
I always got the, you're over dramatic type deal. So I don't think I truly understood my feelings. I think that's why I was just, I guess, a late bloomer, I would think, until I truly started reflecting and going through real life things. Like I think I've always been just a little slower at recognizing, reflecting.
The person I loved went through it. So I think that it just kind of opened up more to me. But yeah, no, before that, it was just like, it was still a thing that was talked about because my mom had those conversations about like depression. She like gave us that or whatever. I can't think of the word. She gave us that education, I guess, that conversation, kind of like the birds and the bees, but like that.
That's awkward.
Yeah. Dude, I remember when my dad tried to have the birds and the bees conversation with me and I just looked at him and I was like, don't. I took health class. Like, save it. He like wanted to take me to dinner too. I was like, no, I'm not going.
I definitely had those conversations. I just don't think I understood it.
Yeah. I mean, until you go through it, but that can be a conversation we have privately. That specific experience, because it's not like my personal experience. It's my experience through someone else's experience. And I don't know if they want me to tell that.
Oh, totally.
But anyways, we have accomplished acknowledging growth, mental growth is really what like the general vibe I get from that.
And embracing emotions.
Yes, embracing it. Yes. Yeah, accepting it. Still loving that part of you.
Knowing that all feelings are valid. It's big. All right, so next.
What do we bring to others?
Sun, star, and moon.
They've all been reversed so far.
Ooh.
We've got 8 of Pentacles reversed. And the graphic on it is an artiste at an easel and paint and stuff.
Creation. Positivity.
Reversed.
Creation. Destroyer. Just kidding.
of Pentacles reversed. Self-judgment, impatience, perfectionism. Perfectionism is limiting you from your full capacity to create amazing work by obsessing over minor details. Frustration is building up after spending so much time and resources on a project with little reward. Your patience is wearing thin, and you are wondering if this endeavor is worth your efforts. Refocus on why you want to learn these new skills and how they would benefit your life in the long run. Release judgment around how fast and how good you are at picking up these new skills and avoid comparing yourself to others. Everything takes time. You are on your own unique path. Struggle is part of the journey and will be worth it when you apply yourself. Give yourself the freedom of trial and error and decide what works best for you.
Can I say what I thought?
Sure.
What totally came to my mind was our creativity, but that we sort of hide it a little bit or don't share it as much as we should. In the way of, like, when we paint together and stuff like that, like our little projects that we're doing. And we don't, that's what just was coming to me, that we need to be like doing more creative things. And even if we aren't a freaking, some famous painter, even if we aren't them right off the bat, we should stick with it because our creativity and positivity will shine through.
That could be a message you got from it.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, what I got of like, this is what we bring to others. So what I got is kind of like the message of the card is what we bring to others. It's not a message for us per se, but the idea of like release the judgment, that everything takes time and that you're on your own unique path and struggle is part of the journey. Like these are all things that we have said and we express and we want to enlighten onto other people of like, this is your journey, this is your path. You got to do what's meant for you. Don't compare yourself to others. Don't judge yourself or others on where you're at, where they're at, all of that. Like, just you got to go your own way.
I got the vibe of like reassurance. Like we bring reassurance to others, but in that like positive aspect of like, we're going to pump you up. We're going to build you up. We're going to help you become the best version of you. And that's could be through creativity. Yeah. It could be through us sharing more of our creative sides. It could be through us having more of these conversations, just having positive affirmations. Like I think it's through everything that we're doing. We're bringing that reassurance of like, oh, hey, there's reassurance of that safe space. I can listen to a safe conversation. I can have that safe perspective change, I just got that vibe of like just reassurance, like love, like a warm hug.
That clicked.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of projects lately, so that's probably why my brain is like going towards it. But I've been working on a couple Christmas gifts, and I thought, this me making someone something is so, whatever. But like, no, someone could actually look at this and think, oh, this is really cool, and I need to not beat myself up over that and be like, and just embrace it because we're gonna bring a smile to someone's face, and like that's where I'm kind of. That's how it connected to me.
So to me, like personal message, like what could I bring to myself is kind of like the way that I flip-sided that was just that patience and kind of allowing myself to not be perfect. And it's not even like perfect through the way that it's like perfect through my work ethic with anything, not work specific, like workplace, but like just like work itself. So it could be through painting. It could be through, I don't know, reading. It could be through doing actual my workplace stuff. It could be through posting, anything of that nature. Like I have such a high expectation for myself and just kind of allowing myself to have that reassurance of like, no matter what, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Not saying practice what you preach.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And like, how would you talk to your friend versus how you're talking to yourself? Like all of those messages of like, you can do it for yourself too. You deserve it.
I've been working on that. Still stopping myself mid-sentence because I talk to myself.
Oh.
And going, no, not negative. All right, let's twist it to a positive. And I've been working on that really hard.
That's huge. Proud of you.
Can't see my happy dance.
What are your skills/talents?
7 of Pentacles.
It's a palm tree. Well, it looks like a palm tree.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just red and yellow balls instead of coconuts, but it reminds me of the palm tree from A told B and B told C. I'll meet you at the top of the coconut tree. It's a children's book.
I don't know it.
What? That was my favorite children's book. I can't think of the actual title of it, but it's a whole song with the alphabet, and they climb up to the top of the coconut tree, and then they all are too heavy to be on top of the coconut tree, so they all fall down, and they get all crumpled and injured, and it's a whole ordeal.
It's a great children's book. I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. Is it I don't know. I'm getting something boom boom or something like
Chicka boom boom.
Yeah, it's like something boom boom. It's like a
boom.
Isn't it like
Will
a
there be
caterpillar or
enough
something
room?
like that? I don't know. Yeah, chicka boom boom. I don't remember the book, but I remember the title. What was it?
7 of Pentacles. No
Not
reverse.
reversed?
No
Oh,
reverse.
okay. 7 of Pentacles. Patience, investment, sustainability. Hard work pays off. The seeds have been planted and you are now starting to see the fruits of your labor. Like a badass, you're looking toward the future with long-term strategy, putting effort into investments for the best returns. Timing is key for the sustainability of your ventures, cultivating your ideas with the care they deserve. It isn't just about money, this is about passion. You're putting blood, sweat, and tears into something you feel very strongly about, building a foundation for your personal freedom. Your ideas are coming into fruition, visibly growing before your eyes. Patience is key, as this will take some time to manifest the way that you envisioned. No get-rich-quick schemes here. You're in it for the long haul. I immediately vibed with podcasts.
Yes.
But as far as like skills and talents, I would say just like what we're doing here is a skill and talent of ours. Like being able to bring that conversation to the table, like a conversation that's not common. And I think I'm realizing more and more how not common it is because, I mean, outside of work, you guys are the ones I hang out with. So when I experience others in the way that they communicate with each other and the way that they talk about things or the things that they talk about, I'm just like, wow, okay. I understand how aware I am. And it's not like a puffing my chest, I'm better than them kind of vibe, but it's more so like it almost fuels me wanting to have the conversations more because it's like I want these people to grow. Like I want them to see that there's so much more than what they see right now. And I think that that's definitely like for the three of us or just as a group in general, skills and talent that we have.
Yeah, based on what you just said, whenever I'm in a group that isn't you guys, and it's even if it's like people I've met one or two times, if they even touch on the topic that's mental health related or anything, I'm a quiet person in these settings, right? I noticeably become more conversive. Like I start talking to them like, okay, let's dive deeper into this. let's get away with the small talk. Let's like really actually have a true conversation and get deep, like all for it. So I definitely agree with you there. But then the other thing that stuck in my head during that was the word commitment. You put your mind to something and you follow through and you follow the passion and you stick to it. I think that is also a talent.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a good one to point out. I've just asking questions, just being able to ask those questions, like with the conversation with the friends and stuff like that.
That is a skill, though.
Yeah, that's what
Asking a question, but having it be an intuitive question.
Yes.
So that way it's forming a thought process. You know, it's not just fluff. You're not just asking a question to ask a question. You're asking a question because you want to know the meaning and it has a deeper depth to it. That's a skill. That's a skill.
That's where I was trying to go. Thank you very much. Oh boy, but I'm glad you guys got me to help. Because my conversational skills are not the best. I visualize where it's going and what's happening, but as I said earlier, our conversation, you can't see my brain.
So, why do you feel down about yourself? Oof.
Yeah. Oh crap! I have to read this one. Oh no.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Don't be hard on me.
With love.
With love.
This spread screams hug, love. Just keep that vibe.
Yeah.
Two of Pentacles reversed.
Financial instability, neglect, disorganization. It's a call out.
I find normally when you tell the cards go easy, they go harder. Just saying.
The business of busyness is keeping you all tied up. Paying bills on time and managing finances has taken a backseat to handling all the other activities going on in your life. It's time to get organized. Keep a schedule and commit to it. Blocking out activities to focus on all areas, not just work and getting ahead. Create a budget and begin building your wealth, one step at a time. Constant striving may have left you neglecting your relationships to manage day-to-day affairs, which could cost you your relationships in the long run. Overcommitment eventually creates chaos when you don't carve out enough time for yourself. Ooh. Distractions keep you away from focusing on what is important to you. Spend your energy wisely. You get to choose where you invest your time.
Next card.
I know.
Exactly.
Like, damn, that called us all out.
Yeah. Yep.
So me personally was the organization. Now I'm a very organized person. However, my house is not. Every drawer, there is mail. Because no one teaches you what to do with your fucking mail when you're younger. And Derek specifically just shoves shit in the drawers. And then I'm just like, I just don't feel like going through them. But it's something that has literally been driving me crazy. It's something that I obsess over when I'm at my lowest. So it's something that I desperately need to just fucking do. And I know I'll feel so good after I do it. Oh, but it's just getting that motivation to do it, you know, like that executive dysfunction, disorder situation.
Yeah.
Ship.
Feel that one? Feel that one very hard.
Like, I know I need to do this, but because I know I need to do this, I don't want to do it. But yeah, that spoke to me. I get very down on myself, very hard on myself with that one, especially lately.
It's like you don't have the visual clutter, but you know the clutter is in there, and so it's like it's like a nagging pest that only you know about.
Yeah. Well, it's like the same like at work. Like I have to keep myself organized because if there is mess, I can't focus but on the mess. Like my brain will literally be like, but there's the mess. But the mess is there. Like the mess. And it'll just keep going like, but you have to take care of that mess. Even though I need to prioritize other things, you have to take care of the mess. So it's like just at work, like every, I don't know, hour, I'm like constantly cleaning up my desk and putting things back where they need to go. But it's just that like having that cluttered space, cluttered mind, cleared space, cleared mind is very, very real with me. Very real.
Yeah. I recently sent you guys that photo of me cleaning and organizing my dressing room, and it was great. but now it's back to being messy because it's like I get it there 2 days, 3 days, and then one shirt there, one pant there, one makeup brush left on the desk, and then I'm back to square one.
Yeah.
I need to be better about that in between. Like,
that's like, it shows my mental health. It's such a clear depiction of my mental health. If my space is clean, I'm doing great. If my space is trashed, I'm probably not doing all that great.
Yeah.
And then it's, I get that. I get that. It's building the routine and keeping that routine. That's why I like so badly kind of want that minimalistic lifestyle. Like just having what you need and not everything that you want, because then having just what you need is manageable, and then having everything that I want, especially with clothing.
oh yeah.
Like I want to get there with clothing. That's a goal of mine.
Before I moved out here, I used to want to live off grid in a yurt. True minimalism.
Yeah.
I think I could do it.
Yeah.
I could see
But-
like having a vacation yurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I feel like I could do it if it was in that instance. As far as being minimal in a house, that's a lot harder. You have the space.
Yeah.
If I don't have the space, I can't have the stuff. That's
Yeah.
how my mind is like.
Part of that for me is like the childhood trauma in a way of like being poor and like not having anything. And so now that I can, I'm like, why wouldn't I? Like, why would I deprive myself of that? But then it's like creating that balance, finding that balance. Like, because when I was younger, I could have been a lot more smarter with my money and the way that I did things. But I had that mentality of like, no, I've literally, the only time I got things was my birthday or Christmas, and it was minimal because that's all we could afford, kind of thing. And I lived in an area where there was more wealthy than there was poor. And so it was a hard battle, but yeah, that's definitely something that I strive on now, is to get that minimalist lifestyle of just having what I need and creating that wealth.
Yeah. I also struggle with I'm not a hoarder. I don't hoard, but I definitely have some tendencies of like, oh, but I could need that. And then if I keep this, I wouldn't have to buy it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So therefore I'm saving money.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
That's hard.
The justification.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You're almost manipulating yourself.
Yes.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I definitely do. Like, that's me with my clothes. That's probably the biggest clutter for me, is my clothes. Like, don't get me wrong, the mail is pissing me off, but I can deal with that. That to me is an easy task to get rid of. It's the clothing, because like you, not like you in this aspect, but like you, I have a hard time letting go of my clothes, but I gained a lot of weight very quickly. And so I'm like, I have that mentality of like, oh, but if I hang on to them, I'll be that weight again, because that's the weight I need to be, like that mentality. Like my weight now is horrendous and horrific, and I'm coming to terms with it being my body again, but still I'm hanging on to those clothes, but they're giving me anxiety because now I feel like I have to fit into them. And if they weren't in my fucking house, I wouldn't think about them.
Yeah. Yeah. Because on the one hand, it's like you would save a lot of money. You wouldn't have to buy a whole wardrobe
exactly. Because like I have great, like in great condition clothes that may have only been worn once, twice, maybe 3 times, that just do not fit.
That's hard.
Pisses me off.
Yeah.
Very frustrating.
Why can't clothes just grow with our bodies?
Wouldn't that be just phenomenal?
That'd be great.
That would be great. Let me know, guys, if you'll buy my clothes. I really should, but you know, skinny jeans are kind of out at this point, so maybe people won't buy them.
Maybe for Halloween costumes, or just wait until they come back into style again.
Yeah, let me wait another 10 years.
You'll have nieces.
You know, I always thought crop tops, I was like, oh, I'll wait for crop tops to go back out of style, because I'm just not a crop top person. I have nothing against them, but just not for me. But then, like, I swear to God, the past, like, 7 years, there's been nothing but fucking crop tops everywhere. Like, why can't we have both?
Right.
I'm the type of person who always says, "Oh, I'll never wear that" when it first comes out,
Yeah.
and then you'll find me wearing it. Like, because it's like I have to get that confidence before I can wear something. So then I save it forever. So my closet's full. You guys know that, but yeah, clothes is a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
For me with this card, it's the when I'm down, I tend to bury myself in the day to day in my work to just I just got to get through another day and I'll get through another day. Like just keep trucking on. That's what called me out most with that
Yeah.
card.
That's hard. That's hard.
Mm.
That's something that I've struggled with before, because then you feel like, then the flip side of that, or the extra layer of guilt that you put on yourself, it's like, I just
Yep.
wasted all that time. I didn't do anything but work. And then you're like, all this time has passed. At least for me. I get into that layer too, and that's hard. That's not an easy thing.
Well, it's also like the overcommitment. Like sometimes all I have the energy for is to do the day to day and the work. And then I have that guilt of not hanging out or not doing this fun activity. And then I'm the downer and, oh, she's letting her mental health get to her and it's preventing her from doing all these fun things. Like that starts to weigh on me too. And sometimes I just need my me time where I am like, okay, I did all my work. I did the stuff for the day to day and I just need some time for myself.
Yeah, you just got to reassure yourself of that. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, is there anything more on that card that
No.
we good to move on to more of the lovey-dovey? How should you practice love? I imagine there's a slash there. Show/practice love? Slash.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure how you should show.
Yeah, I think there's supposed to be a dash or something.
Show/practice.
Unless practice love is its own thing. We'll see what the card says. But yeah.
It'll put it together for us.
Yeah. I understand the vibe. The words might be wrong.
Right.
2 cards.
So we've always got to have one that pops out with more than one. 2 cards. The Sun and 2 of Cups.
Oh, well, I'm reading the Sun. The Sun. Positive vibes, warmth, radiance. Abundance is radiating down upon you as warm, yellow rays illuminate your days with confidence and lighthearted fun. The sun is the source of life. You are reflecting its positive vibes, attracting people toward you with whimsy and a sunny attitude. There is beauty in simplicity, small details creating life for the big picture. Take pleasure in the simple moments, whether it's taking a stroll, laughing with friends, or even just journaling haiku and random thoughts. Have some fun. The sun is a confirmation that you have sunnier days ahead of you, filled with optimism and enthusiasm. After experiencing gray skies and thunderstorms, you can now appreciate the good that is present at this time. You are equipped to handle any storm and move forward with assurance that you are on the right path. 2 of Cups. Partnership, complementary, duality. When 2 become 1, this is the beginning of a partnership full of synchronicity and balance. You play off each other's strengths and weaknesses and are able to create a complementary relationship that is open and supportive. Opposites attract, making you both stronger when you work together. Trust and mutual respect have been built over time between the 2 of you as both communicate your commitment to one another. This may apply to a partnership in business, love, or friendship. Either way, you're feeling each other's vibes, which leads to a filling and satisfying relationship. This can also speak to the relationship that you have with yourself. We all possess a duality inside of us, and the 2 of Cups asks you to treat yourself with the love and compassion that you seek in a partner.
As I was looking at the cards while you were looking for the spots to read, and the sun, I immediately thought of you because we always say that you're the sun. And I was like, oh man, if only we pulled the sun, the moon, and the star. Because they are all cards. But then I started looking at the 2 of Cups, and duality is what peaked in my head. Because it's 2 women who they have their arms interlinked, like when you feed each other cakes at a wedding. And they're interlinked, and one is blue and one is like orange and pink. And it was just like, it made me think of the sun and moon star, like our duality within our group too. And I think that is a good showing of how we do show and practice love. Like that is who we are, is we have that warmth and abundance that you even say when you talk about work and who you want to be when you show up to work, and like spreading that love and positivity and warmth to other people. But then there's that duality that we see in each other and other people, and knowing that we are where we are, they are where they are, and all the conversations we always have. I don't know. It's just, it was just like the perfect fit.
Yeah.
It also spoke to me personally because, like, I do have both sides. Like, I do have a pessimistic side, and I do have my optimistic side. And I do tend to keep the pessimism internal. And it just having that, which is kind of why this is a topic that I like to talk about, but being able to just have both has helped me work through when I'm feeling down, and honestly being able to be more open to it and not closing it off, but like just kind of embracing it and being like, okay, I clearly need to feel this emotion for some reason right now. But just having like they can coexist and they don't have to cancel one another out kind of thing. And just like how, like you said, we've accepted that, especially within our like group of friends, the three of us. And what we want to obviously show and bring here to this platform. But yeah, a big one was the inner. And like I've recently, because people expect me to be so warm, bubbly, and positive, like if I'm not feeling it, I'll straight up tell them and be like, I mean, I'm not fucking feeling it today. And they'll be like, are you okay? I'm just like, yeah, I'm just not in the mood. Because I definitely have those days. Normally followed by a bad night's sleep.
These cards definitely radiated us in so many levels. But I always appreciate that if one of us is reflecting on something that's happened in our lives, the other two are usually always great with a perception that maybe someone hasn't thought of, or trying to keep it positive. And that's why I feel like when we're together, it's such a great vibe, because when I share what I'm feeling, you guys always look at me and say, that's great. Like, thank you. And you're awesome for doing ABC.
Yeah.
And like, I don't have that in my normal day to day. So I feel like we're really, like, that's what I was feeling with the cards. Like, we're really great with that vibe together.
Yeah.
And because we're so different, but we all have that like inner link of we're going through it, and the openness and the reflection. It's just amazing.
It's not a toxic positivity type of way too.
Yes.
It's not like, oh, well, at least this didn't happen kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's I'm going to listen to you. I'm accepting you, no judgment. But have you thought about looking at it this way, if that's helpful? Like, if you want that kind of conversation, we're definitely good at. And that's like kind of what we want to bring to this table too, is that open communication, safe space to have raw conversations.
Yeah.
I immediately started thinking about our Tipsy Tarot episodes with guests, both in our conversations together, but that's a good example for our listeners too, of like, these are real people, even though we know them personally. It would be anyone we would treat like this, right? We give them that validation, and we listen to them, and we uplift them and support them. But at the same time, if they're talking about something that's real shit, we're like, yeah, that's real shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you have that duality of like, this is true and this is true.
And I feel like we're kind of starting these ripples of conversation starters, conversation openers, that type of thing that I really feel like can touch some people's lives. And that's really cool, because even when I'm here talking about this show, I go home and I'll still reflect more. We talk not on the podcast about shit all the time, like and we also argue. We have disagreements, but we're accepting, like, we're not always going to have the same view, and that's okay. And we work through it with positive conversation and
healthy communication.
yeah.
Yep. Yes. Preach, sister.
We should have a podcast.
Yeah. Weird, huh?
I'm proud of us.
Yeah. Me too.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Love you.
Love you.
Love you.
I am curious though with listeners. Obviously, we kind of touched on ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
so you get a deeper look into us. But I also want to know our listeners if, first of all, if you have any other questions or comments of what you've noticed in our conversations in the past too that you can bring to the table, but also how you related to this tarot spread, if you pulled anything that validated your experiences and emotions and
Absolutely.
self-love.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Please share.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of Unfiltered 3. Remember, we release new episodes every Monday. But if that's not enough, connect with us on our socials at Unfiltered 3, where we can uplift, inspire, and embark on this journey together. Thank you for listening and for being a part of our community. Until next time, take care and keep shining your authentic light. Bye, guys.
Bye.